Coffee in here, please.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Oh, that was quick.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
Okay, laugh. I'm making you laugh. You must laugh. Go ahead. Well, I seem a little, I don't know, whitish. Seem a little whitish. Not white fish, whitish. Anyway, that's what it is. It's a whitish kind of day for me. So look at that. Good morning, folks. Good Friday, folks. It is Good Friday. Good Friday, March 29th, 2024. I hope it's a wonderful day wherever you are. It's still a little bit crappy here. Today's supposed to be opening day for the New York Mets, wearing my New York Mets t-shirt, but I'm confused. My brother told me it was already rained out a couple of days ago because the forecast said it would be raining. So that's usually when they rain it out in advance. But Jay Horowitz, who has been the Mets PR person for the last 45 years or so, was on Twitter yesterday, seeming to suggest that he would be at the game today in the dugout drinking hot chocolate. So I don't know. It might be opening day for the Mets, or I just wore the shirt for no reason at all. One of those two is true. So yeah. Holy Thursday was yesterday, and possibly, I don't know. And this is, again, I'm confused. This is going to be a very confusing day for me. I'm a very confused person from the moment I woke up this morning. But apparently, or possibly, our prayers were answered yesterday, and G.D. Fenderson passed away, and the Rev will be here to offer a eulogy. I'm thinking that's what it is. Either that, or he's just going to say, "Don't eat meat on Good Friday." One of those two things is true. I'm going to keep saying one of those two things is true all day long today, probably. Yeah. I saw Dave Attell last night, not live. I saw the hot cross buns. I should have figured by the title what it would be. That's all I'll say about it. I was very, I'm Mr. Negative. We need Stephen Ortiz here to be positive because he's our positivity coach now. And I'm Mr. Negative, and I don't want to be Mr. Negative. I'm going to say it was okay. What was really, I hold Tell to a higher standard, and I do feel like he's lost a little bit off his fastball, and his curveball isn't even there. He's not even using his curveball anymore. He used to have a really good curveball. Why with the baseball analogy? Because it's opening day, that's why. Or it might not be. One of those things is true. But he's all okay. It's okay, but it's not Dave Attell. Dave Attell should have me. And I was in a perfect mood for watching comedy last night. A couple of gummies, But I was excited to watch it. And then it's pretty much like when I went to Governor's to see him 6 months ago. It's like Dave Attell, man. Dave Attell, you got to be the GOAT. If you're not the GOAT, don't even bother coming out of your house at night. but I was extremely impressed by the production values of it. And I know for most consumers, they don't care. They don't care about production values. People sitting at home watching a comedy special, but there is a huge difference between a special that Netflix finances and pays for the production of, and one of these things that a comedian working clubs hires some video cameras to come out and shoot, and a really inexperienced or maybe not experienced uh, from the point of editing, but from editing for broadcast television editor. Netflix is just superior, and it comes across perfect lighting, perfect sound, perfect camera work, perfect editing, all of it perfect, and a couple of special effects in there. So you know what? That can't be overlooked because, and I know some people say it doesn't matter to me as long as the jokes are funny. Yeah, it does matter because if something is totally distracting, like a really rough cut or terrible lighting or bad sound in a portion, it distracts you from really good jokes. Now you can't compare apples to oranges, and Dave Attell to mm, Joe Schmo, whose video from comedy club or even a bar down the street, and the funny factor there and all that kind of stuff. You can't compare that, but you can look at it and say, "Holy shit, this is the way it's supposed to be done," versus, this is the way what he could afford to do. And I think people need to take that into account because I'm seeing more and more of, yeah, this is what he could afford to do. Maybe it's better not to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving my opinions here. Maybe it's better not to do a special if you can't afford to do it right. You know what? Anything worth doing is worth doing right, I think. And you can argue with me about that and you can have your opinions about it. But honestly, um, I can't help but notice the production values because I've been in video production pretty much for the last 40 years. And I understand when people I want to say, "Oh my God, you guys did a great job on that," versus, "I think I could do a better job than that guy." And most of the comedy specials I'm seeing out there, maybe I got too much ego about my own self and my own capabilities, but most of the comedy specials I see, I look at him and say, "Yeah, I think I could do a better job than that guy." Last night, no. But then I watched the credits and the team that Netflix put together for him, a bunch of Emmy award winning, really good, competent, beyond competent, excellent people. A team of, what, none of these guys who were doing their YouTube specials, YouTube being the platform they distribute on. None of those guys have the facility to hire 35 people, an art director, a lighting director, a sound director, all those people. It costs money, money. And you can't get Jordan Peterson to sit there and cry for nothing. Um, yeah. So anyway, last thing before I bring the gentleman in, and we say our prayers for GD, the late GD Fenderson, or the missing GD Fenderson, or one of those things is true. Um, Joe Biden was in town last night for a fundraiser, expected to raise $25 million. He didn't raise $25 million. He raised $26 million, uh, which is disturbing to me. Like, I want to know, what are you going to do with all that money? Where are those? I've every election I talk about this, the wasted fucking money. And I know, listen, he's, especially if you're already president, right? If you're already the president, you already have a jet to get you to all these campaign stops. If you're going to do campaign stops, you also already have the networks at your disposal. All you have to do is say you want to talk to the nation, and they'll show up with TV cameras. You don't have to buy it. It's just a lot of money. And listen, if these fucking rich cats, it was $500,000 a ticket to go see. imagine, imagine I got $500,000 just burning a hole in my pocket. What am I gonna do on a Thursday night? I'm gonna go watch a bunch of fucking stuffed suit, old dudes bore the shit out of me, so I could feel like I don't know, part of the team, or I'm buying influence. One of those things is true. I'm gonna keep saying that. Um, but $26 million. What are you gonna do with it? I want to know that. And what is gonna be TV commercials? It better not buy those fucking damn lawn signs and those, roadside little. I'll run those fuckers over. You're wasting your money. Send them back. Give me my $25 million, $26 million back. Give me my $500,000 back. It was a good dinner, but it wasn't worth $500,000. And you get to listen to Obama speak, which he's a good speaker. I guess he probably would be the highlight of the night, the most entertaining person. Then you got Bill Clinton. I did not. I'm getting over myself. And Joe Biden, which is. And I could have watched Dave Attell's. I could have stayed home and watched Dave Attell's special and came on and criticized it. But no, I spent $500,000 to eat shitty food and listen to the old guys fart. I'm sorry. It's Good Friday. It's really bad Friday, is a whole other subject. It's a bad Friday, but we call it Good Friday. And we don't have Stephen Ortiz here, so we have nobody positive. The most positive person we have on the show is probably Ron Kane. And then we have the Rev, who is Red, the Red Rev.
Yeah.
Become Native American, Rev Jelly Roll. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey.
Wait, I don't like this background. Go ahead. You can talk, but I got to change this background.
Oh, okay. MindDogTV.com. Order your coffee with the dog Easter basket. Each basket contains eggs that were laid personally by Matt Napo. MindDogTV.com.
I don't know this Matt Napo guy. But I don't lay eggs, and there are no Easter eggs, and I don't know why you say Easter bastard. Why you say Easter bastard? Why it's not?
They weren't married. They weren't married. Everybody knows they weren't married.
Let's put Ron up on top there, so I'm on the bottom here. So briefly now, GD has passed away yesterday. Is that what?
No, he'll be here probably after your first commercial break for your first guest. He's still trying to make it back to see the presidents last night. That extra $1 million they got was his. They were supposed to get 25 million, and GD gave that last $1 million. And that's why he's late, because he doesn't want to have to explain to his wife why he blew their last $1 million going to see them. Well, basically, he thought Jimmy Carter was going to be there, and it was going to be his last chance to see Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter was what was they served. They served Jimmy Carter. They cut him up into Carter cutlets. So he was there. It tasted terrible, by the way. Well, all right. Well, we look forward to. I was concerned about GD because I know he was getting colonoscopy and then a quadruple bypass and then a brief semi lobotomy. So I was a little concerned about him, but
one of the two.
One of these things is true.
Yeah, absolutely. One of these things is true. Yeah.
The transition is almost complete.
Right.
He may be human by the end of the week.
Ron Kane picked up a show tonight that he didn't know he was going to have. And he didn't call me immediately to say, hey, I need a comedian to come down to Harrisburg and do a show. Let me just see if I can get one from Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just a guest spot, and that has been filled. So that show happens tonight at 8:00.
Will they be serving meat?
Yes.
Oh, sacrilege, blasphemy and sacrilege.
No one follows those rules anyway.
I bet not. I will be. You know what? I'm going to be. I'm going to eat salad tonight, and I'm not part of the team. I'm not a religious person, but I don't know. I just feel like just because everybody else is gleeful. The people who are religious are breaking their own rules. I feel like shoving it in their face by saying, you know what, this is your rule. You're eating meat over there, and I'm having a house salad.
Well, I mean, my wife's Catholic, so she's going to be eating sausage sometime tonight.
Is she still Catholic? She's holding on to that Catholicism. She's not balanced, because a lot of Catholics are balanced. She's not.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's like she's Catholic, but it's not like she's really like practicing or anything like that.
Will she drag you to church on Sunday? It's the most holy day on the calendar.
Probably not. She usually she'll want to go to like the end of the year spectacular, like the Christmas show.
Yeah.
But that's normally about it.
The first few years I was married to my wife, she dragged me to her church, which is not a Catholic church. And on Resurrection Sunday, they have a service that starts at 9 o'clock in the morning and ends when people die. It's 6-7 hours of just sitting there dancing, singing, pulling rabbits out of your ass. I don't know. It was just and the charismatic guy just turns me off big time.
Yeah, that's just too much. I mean, wrap your show up in an hour. I mean, that's my biggest criticism of the times I've been in the Catholic Church. Is like, you got to streamline this show. It's not even entertaining. There's probably a good 15-20 minutes of filler in there. Come on.
Right. Well, the band was great.
A lot of Baptist ministers take the Easter Sunday one as a license to do the long sermons, because they have this line that they use. Like, I know you're tired, but Jesus was on that cross for 6 hours, and they always they always say that kind of thing.
Why did it take 6 hours because they started whipping them on Friday, right? On Thursday. No, wait.
No.
Wait,
it's like earlier in the week.
Oh, Thursday they had the dinner, and then Friday morning or Friday evening they grabbed them, and then they put him on the cross. But I thought he was on the cross from like Friday till.
No, Sunday is like when he comes out of the tomb. He's like, surprise.
See, this is how much I don't know about the real story.
Yeah, the real story. That's funny. You're a fucking comedian. That's not
one of these things is true.
Yeah, that's right.
And what happens if you're a sadist and he's like, well,
that's what took so long. That's what took so long. When he was being whipped, he's like, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?"
There was a terrible old joke about a guy. I'm not even going to tell it here because it's too long. Lyle Lovett has a great song about church being too long. No, it's called Church, and it's basically about everybody's getting hungry, and the guy's just going on and on and on, and this big old white dove comes down, and the preacher kept on preaching, and eventually the preacher just ate the fucking dove. Because everybody was so hungry. But yeah, I get it, man. They love the just long. It's like, come on, man. I get it. I don't feel the spirit to jump up and it doesn't hit me like that. I like the music, but I'm not turned on by it that I need to scream and cry and go run around and feel the Holy Spirit. Why is the Reverend so red?
I'm going to answer that. Sister Kelly, the reason why I'm so red today, the truth of the matter is I'm not in my own studio, so I am using a green screen, and when I use the green screen, I get the red face. Yeah. It's a very simple thing. Even no matter what lighting I use, if I take off the natural lighting, put in the unnatural lighting, even by candlelight, once I put the green screen, I get the red face.
That's because I can tell you why that is. It's because there's not enough space between you and the green screen isn't bright enough for the key effect to do it properly. So it compensates with spill reduction, and spill reduction adds red, and that's why. Now you've learned a little bit about video production, haven't you? And you are prepared to go out and completely direct a comedy special for YouTube.
No, not quite. But I will take that into heat and check out the spill reduction.
I was talking to Kelly. I want Kelly to go out and sell her production services to her local comedian James Inman.
Now, I'm a little bit disappointed because for weeks I've been hearing Willie talk about how I was his favorite person, the Jelly Roll, and so I was like really disappointed that I finally get here and Willie's not here. So
Let me just say that Jelly Roll is not his favorite person. His wife Danica is his favorite person. Jelly Roll is an inspiration to him, but not his favorite person. I don't think we should ever allow that to go uncorrected because Willie will definitely be beaten like a I don't know, like whatever gets beaten. One of these things is true.
like okay, it's like he beats himself. I got you. So,
Right.
so I'm his inspiration. Well, at any rate, I'm here to inspire him to say the positive things that he needs to hear, but he's not here.
Right.
So,
Well,
He'll
I
never be here again, by the way. The power chord, it was his like I don't know, his
Achilles heel.
yeah, his
well,
Achilles heel, like Aaron Rodgers.
I just got a message from him. He said he's on vacation at the Albuquerque airport currently. So I don't.
Wow. That's a cool vacation to take. I mean, you could see there is a bookstore there, and I think that's it, and a coffee shop.
Cinnabon. I think there's a Cinnabon.
Yeah, there isn't much there. I've been there.
Yeah, Albuquerque's not one of the bigger airports in these United States. Earlier, the Rev. I'm sorry, I almost called him GD. We wouldn't want to do that. The Rev mentioned commercial break and first guest, and both guests. Well, the comedian guest canceled yesterday. Said he had travel going on today, traveling to a gig, so he's not going to be here in the second hour. The first guest, first hour, should have been here 5 minutes ago. I knew he was not going to show up because all week long I've been saying, I have no information on you. Please send me a headshot and a bio or something I could put in there. And because his name is Thomas R. Mays, and the only Thomas R. Mays I could find was an author of a book called From the Womb to the
Womb to the
Tomb.
Tomb. Right. Yeah. That's a great book. I didn't read it. It's a great book.
You might have wanted to read it because he's a former cop who talks about the thin blue line, racism within law enforcement, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I knew he wasn't going to show up. And then yesterday I said, if you intend on doing this video, you must write back to me and with some information about who you are, because I don't want to introduce the wrong guy if you show up. And so I
Right.
never heard
With the
from him.
wrong picture. Right. Yeah.
So it's a no guest Good Friday, which turns a bad Friday into a Good Friday, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know what's up with our chief positivity coach, Stephen Ortiz, why he's not here today. But you know what? He probably needed a break from this nonsense. That's probably what's happening.
He's told all the jokes he knows, and that's it. He's got to get new ones, and he'll be back on Monday.
Oh, he's working on a great Alex Jones.
Yeah, that's it. He's working. Yeah. As a
I
matter
know.
of fact, that's probably what happened. He was probably watching Alex Jones so he could learn the syntax and things of that. And once you watch like 20 minutes of Alex Jones, either you are full on Alex Jones right in with him, or you need like IV, IV drip and like 6 or 7 hours of sleep.
Right.
One of those things are true.
One of those things is definitely true, or something is definitely true. Something in the universe is definitely true. Ron being the smartest person on the planet, or at least the smartest person in this 3-person room.
In our world,
yeah. Can you tell me how that $26 million will be spent that Joe Biden just took for a bad dinner last night?
Probably just more ads. Just
Not more. Don't tell me road signs. Those road signs and lawn signs. Don't tell me that. I will get into a rage. I can't stand. First of all, the thing that bothers me most about them is when you see one, you see 30 of them. So if I pull up to the median that between Charm and Rocky Point, there's a little grass median there, and there'll be 40 Biden signs or 40 Trump signs. All all it takes is one. How many, and how much does that cost?
That's because the person who puts the sign out there gets paid by the sign, not by the location. So they I put up 27 signs today,
and
nobody asked.
Then you have to take 27 signs down too. So
well, that person, that's what the $26 million is for. They have to pay the person who takes those signs down.
drives me crazy, man.
And TV commercials aren't cheap,
Down ballot, yeah,
and
down ballot races.
putting ramps everywhere so he can walk up stuff is not cheap either. So come on.
Right. But now the snail mail, the bullshit cardboard campaign mail that I go out to the mailbox with, it's just going to get more and more between now and November. You go out with the garbage can in your hand, and you're just at the mailbox doing this. But you mentioned TV commercials. Do you think, because they act like this is so important, do you think TV commercials are necessary for a presidential campaign?
Yeah, they are.
Why?
And the part of it is like, for example, there are people, like I said, not every people are not a monolith, so not everybody's going to be reached the same way, okay, and also by the same means. For example, a rational person, you could lay down the case one time and say, this is the case between, this is your choices between, let's say, Biden and Trump, and you can lay it out one time, and a rational person go, I see what you're saying. This is how I'm voting. That's a rational person. Then there's the person who's like, I don't know. I need to see 19, 30, 40, 50 messages before I can say I'm still thinking about it. So not everybody's at the same place.
Really? But so there are people in America who don't know if they're voting for Trump or Biden yet,
They
and they
say
need to
that.
see a commercial
They
to
say
convince
that.
them.
Yeah, they say
That shit happens every election, and
I know, but I'm wondering, the money. I'm asking, is the money necessary, or are they just? I don't know. They're doing this for an ego boost, because I don't think anybody is changing their mind because they saw a commercial. If I saw, I just saw a commercial, now I'm definitely voting for Trump. I can't see that happening. Or I just saw a commercial, I'm definitely voting for Biden. I can't see anybody fucking.
Well, and
That commercial convinced me.
If we were talking about a society where the popular votes really, really mattered, I would totally agree with you. But since we're dealing with the Electoral College, and this will come down to a few districts saying yay or nay, I say, well, I take the chance to throw the fucking commercials out there, put the ads if you have to. If you got to buy a bunch of Biden lawn jockeys and put them out there so people can see the Joe Biden lawn jockeys. And
all right, let me just slow you down there, you preaching red man, you.
okay.
If it were a popular vote, it would, you'd agree with me, but it's because it's Electoral College, then there are some people who are going to get their minds changed by a commercial, just because it's still about people. At the end of the day, it's people within the most important districts getting influenced, but you still think they're going to be influenced by a commercial. You just think they're those people in those most important electoral districts.
For example, we just did a breakdown a few minutes ago.
I'm having a breakdown right now. One of
A
these
few
things.
minutes ago, we did a breakdown as to why I was so red. Okay.
Right.
And Kelly got it. All right. Now Ian is saying, why is he so red? And now, if we really want to inform him, we have to run that same damn commercial again, explaining why I am so red. And that's what it is with the commercials. Not everybody's listening at the same time as well. So if you want the information out there, you have to repeat it, and that's part of the ad, part of the thing. And also, let's face it, as far as people, a lot of people would just vote on names that are familiar to them. So if you want a name to be familiar, you have to keep repeating it and saying it and saying it. So they're not going to listen to one of his speeches, but if they get the commercials and keep hearing the name, like I said, it's not a monolith and it's not an exact science. But if it keeps Trump out of office, by God, I say give him all the money he needs and wants.
I don't think it makes a difference, though. I really don't think spending money makes the difference. I guess I'm alone on this.
I would say then ask President Jill Scott. No, Jill Stein, not Jill Scott. I'm thinking of Jill Scott.
That wasn't money. It's just ridiculousness, and the fact that she's sitting at a table with Putin and what's his name, Mike Flynn.
Trump did
jacking Putin off under the table.
Trump did the same stupid shit and worse, but because he had money to counter whatever the message was, to counter that message, You know,
So basically, why I know Musk wasn't born here and isn't ineligible, but why isn't the richest man in the world the president every time? I got all them, why can't I
because
just buy it?
usually they're smart enough to know that they'd rather be the power behind the throne than be getting the attention of
Right.
the slings and arrows of being the guy in front. You know,
Okay.
they'd rather be the power. You know, like nobody knew who the hell the Koch brothers were until somebody accidentally leaked that they existed.
I saw
Up until
Trading Places. I knew who they were.
If they got rid of the electoral college, then you could streamline campaign spending
yeah,
because it would be right out in front. Then Republicans would actually need policies and shit to run on because that's they can't win in a popular vote. Most what is it throughout history they never win the popular vote like
once.
yeah,
I
once.
think once, and that was right after 9/11.
Yeah, because that's
And
that's really the only reason that Trump even still has somewhat of a chance because of the shitty electoral college that we have, which is such an old system. And there's 350 million people now too.
I get it, but still, it comes down to those somebody in those districts. You're saying that somebody in those districts is influenced by television or by money being spent on advertising and all that stuff,
of
and I just don't.
course, look at
Huh?
product placement. You know, if advertising did not work, if commercials didn't work, businesses wouldn't spend the money on it because businesses are there to make money. Why spend the money on something that does not give them a return?
I can't because of ego. Heard a radio commercial the other day for the Pines Motor Lodge on 96.1
And
FM.
I bet you they have no vacancies as of today. As of
Uh,
this right now, they have no
no,
vacancies.
I've known this. It's a fuck me, a fuck motel. I've been there, and not recently. Just in case my wife was been there.
Yeah, well, you
But
can confess that. You can confess that later on.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's Friday, day of confession, right? But I know this place. I know they're not making because I used to sell radio advertising too. I know they're not making. There's no return on investment. They're paying thousands and thousands of dollars for this advertising,
Are
and
they
even if
paying
they're
it?
full, nobody see. Oh, that's a fuck motel. They advertise on the radio. I got to go there. People are going to go to the closest one. But let's say I heard the radio guy, and I go there. I'm not pay for $50 for the short stay and whatever. They're not making their money back for the advertising. And a lot of it is ego driven.
Oh,
When you say if advertising doesn't work, the thing with advertising, let me just
yeah.
get off this rant and then I'll let you speak. But the
Okay.
thing with advertising is when you sell it as a long-term deal. If you start advertising today, nobody's going to buy your product till a year from now. We're just going to keep banging it over the head constantly, starting like we're going to, McDonald's. A year from now, it'll be ingrained in your head. The first thing when you think of lunch, you're going to think of McDonald's, and don't think of McDonald's. It's terrible. They're not sponsoring here, so fuck McDonald's. But that's how advertising works long term. It doesn't work like I'm just going to beat your head over with Biden, or Trump, and people are going to say, "Oh, I heard it on the radio." Yeah, no way. There is not a single, and people know how I feel about Trump. There's not a single advertisement that you can bang over my head to get me to change and say, "Oh, I got to vote for Trump." And I think most of America is that divided right now. Already made up their mind. I'm either a Trump, Biden, or RFQ knucklehead. Yes. Okay. Now you can speak. I'll shut up.
Jill Stein or brother Cornel West or
Oh,
let's
is he
not
still
forget.
running?
Yeah, he's still out there trying to be a
What about
thorn in my. Yeah, he's
Marianne Williamson, Marionette Puppetson?
yeah, they're still out there trying to basically they're trying to get book deals and stuff like that, trying to stay relevant. That's all. And then they know they have no chance. They know it. They just being difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they don't have the right to run. I'm just saying that as they'll be
Yeah.
like,
Everybody got the right to run. Go ahead and run. Go ahead and
right.
run.
If I had money to waste, I would run.
And
If I had the money to waste.
and they need to run ads too, all the way up to the election. They keep telling people that they're trying to cock block you with like these abortion bills. I mean, it's people think that it just affects women. No, like if you're a guy, you should not want an abortion ban, because that's like the first step of having who wants conservatives in their bedrooms. I mean, they're creepy. I mean, they're gonna sit there and watch you. Oh, you're so
Well, that you can talk about all those things, the sodomy laws, and listen, that guy who got arrested for fucking the horse there, the horse
Which
did not
time?
file.
Which time? Which
It was,
time?
it was yesterday. We were talking about in Oregon yesterday. Andy Andrews brought up a guy who was on trial for sexually molesting a horse, abusing. Now, my thing was the horse could not. Couldn't express consent or not consent. But I think if a horse really wanted to get away, if the horse didn't want you fucking him, the horse could get away. In almost
Unless the horse didn't feel it.
Right, maybe it's that small.
Or maybe that's what the horse is into.
Right, but I'm certain the horse didn't call and file a complaint. That's what. So say somebody must have been watching. So,
Somebody had to take the video.
Hey,
Right?
some people just enjoy nature. Take it easy.
Maybe the guy was so stupid that he like the woman from MySpace posted on. Here's me fucking my horse.
Or maybe he contracted some some equine VD, and he
got
went to
horse
get it
cock?
treated. Yeah, some equine VD, and he went to get it treated. And the doctor goes, "Whoa, there's only two ways you can get this. One is from a horse, and the other is from your wife. And I know you haven't been with your wife because y'all are separated. Because it's a small town, everybody knows everybody's business.
Because your wife can run away, but the horse can't.
That's right.
And is it like serial killing? Is it like a step? Like, if you're gonna bang an animal, do you go right to the horse? Or
No, I think you start with a sloth. I think sloth is the animal.
Like a dog, or maybe a goat or something like that.
Pretty sure the sloth is the starter animal.
There was a newspaper article in Collier County, Florida, and this is in 2016, I believe it was, or 2017. That article about a gentleman named Charles. His actual name was Rupert Darwin. And I know you would think somebody with the last name of Darwin would be evolved enough not to be fucking animals, but that's a different story. But in the newspaper article, they mentioned the different levels of bestiality. And actually started talking about smaller animals and stuff like that. So,
I fucked a hummingbird once.
Right, you just don't just start off with a horse, you start off with the small stuff and work your way up.
Yeah, a hummingbird.
Right.
It's big, like a bee. It's the size of a bee.
Earthworms.
Maybe they have that prison mentality. Like, I gotta fuck the biggest fucker in the yard. So I gotta do that.
Well, don't bet money on that horse, because that horse is not a runner. I can tell you that right now, because I would have ran away. Whatever.
But you also are.
How did we get on horse fucking again?
That was your topic du jour.
Oh no, we were talking about looking into bedrooms and all that stuff, and all those archaic laws. Abortion is way up on the food chain from all these archaic laws. Like there are still state laws where giving a blowjob is illegal, even if anal sex is illegal, which I'm all for. Let's make that illegal in all 50 states. I'm for that. Just outlawing. Stephen had another medical emergency. Just contacted me now. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, damn. Sorry to hear that.
I know.
An abortion?
I don't know.
You should have used Plan
Let's
B.
not make fun of Stephen's medical problems, okay?
I'm not making fun of his medical problems. I'm making fun of his inability to pay for the bills once he gets these things taken care of.
All right. Yeah, no. What else did I want to? Oh, David Tell. Let's move on from politics, money, and looking and horse fucking, and bestiality and all that stuff. David Tell special. Rev, are you a fan of David Tell?
I am a fan-in-law.
Well, I will say this after watching the special, because I have seen him throughout his career, but after watching the special with perfect lighting and perfect camera work, I will say we do a terrible injustice to Ron Kane by saying he looks like him, because man, the guy he's he's a couple of years younger than me, but he looks like he's 98. He looks like the old man in the sea, or and he's very aware of his appearance. But God, he did not age well.
Yeah, well, it's he's a chain smoker. I mean, how long has he been smoking too? I mean,
Right, but
you
he's
could hear
quit
that.
drinking a
You
long
could hear
time
that
ago.
in his voice. You could hear it in his voice.
oh yeah, like when he would laugh and he like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah, you
almost,
could hear it. Yeah, because the four of us, myself, GD,
And he got a bit of a hunch going on.
yeah,
He never had that hunch when he was young. He was always, he was never like athletic looking, but he didn't have the hunch going. So he looks like Gandalf or something, but with the hat, it kind of looks like the Gorton fisherman. He's well aware of his appearance and makes fun of it.
and he plays into it. Yeah, he plays into it. But the four of us, myself, GD, his wife Carol, and my wife Amona, we watched the special. I think it was yesterday. And my wife and Carol just laughed their asses off.
Really?
Yeah, they just. I mean, well, it could have been the liquor, but they didn't laugh their asses off. And
could have been the DMT. I don't know.
Yeah,
They were.
Yeah, but once they passed out, we had a great party. But GD and I were talking about saying it was funny.
Kelly says he's had a hump for years. I'm not talking about his sex life. I'm talking about his posture.
We thought his delivery and his execution was virtually impeccable, but his material was like second and third year comedian stuff.
Maybe it's me, but not him. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just expecting too much from him. But I just feel like he's not the Dave Attell who I've built up in my mind as like the greatest living comedian.
Right.
I don't know.
But I think that's because it's just. I think that's the level of the jokes. They were funny to me, but it's because of who he is. I expected a little bit more. But maybe he doesn't have more to give. That's just it.
And well, here's the thing: when I saw him 6 months ago, he had to do. I'm certain he did more than 90 minutes. Probably did close to 2 hours. And this special, actually, it seems like he runs out of material. Either I don't know if he ran out of material, but it sure felt like.
I think he ran out of oxygen. Just listen to him wheezing. I don't think he can stand up for 30 minutes at a time without getting more oxygen.
Oh, I've seen him. I mean,
now
almost 2 hours.
You saw him 6 months ago.
Yeah, and this thing was taped over a year and a half ago, though.
Damn,
special.
Yeah, I was surprised it was only 40 minutes. That really surprised me coming from him.
Yeah,
right.
And considering the fact that 10 minutes of it was playing recorder with the audience and stuff.
We don't want to ruin it for people.
You just said.
I said with hot cross buns, they should have known what was going to happen. I did not say.
And so it's either a bakery.
I did ask the question yesterday of
Ron
and
Steven.
Steven.
Either a recorder or a bakery, one of the two.
Yeah, but the thing about him,
a bakery.
But the thing about Attell, like the word on him is that he doesn't really care about those things like that. He just likes doing comedy in clubs.
I know.
Like he doesn't even have a podcast. And so many comics are like, why don't you have a podcast? He's like, I like comedy. I just want to perform.
Right. Yeah. Very clear that that's what he loves, and he loves doing it. But if you love doing it, why? I think what we saw was and again, great production values. I think what happened was he probably did his normal show, which is 90 minutes or more. I think because I don't want to ruin shit for people, but in the beginning when he comes out and talks about the introduction there, I think those people had already seen him for 15 minutes. He said, okay, we're going to start the special now after he'd been on stage for 45 minutes or so. We're going to start the special now. They're going to introduce me, make a big whoop about it, because he made a joke about it when he first came on. And I think that's what happened. But to say, I don't know, it for me, I almost have him on the same level with Carlin in his prime, where I would be really psyched to see Carlin's latest special. And at some point, Carlin did start to disappoint me a little bit. Like, it's not as funny anymore. It's we're coming to see the rock stuff. It's like it is like going to see a band that has had a billion hits over the years, and you go to see them, and they just do the hits. He didn't do the hits, but it's about the personality. You're applauding the personality rather than the material. Because I agree
Well,
with
yeah, I don't know. I think you almost get to a certain point where, or even as people that watch comedy, you get to a certain. It's like, he did what he had. I mean, how much better could it have been? I mean, yeah, maybe it could have been longer, but I mean, in the end, the special for the most part was consistent. It was nonstop. I mean, his jokes were
Yeah.
just
You
like
got you
that,
got you got like a laugh every 30 every 3 seconds.
yeah, and I mean, it was fire the entire time. And I've seen a lot of specials in this past year, which are supposed to be by like some of the best comedians, and they haven't been great.
right.
They have not been great. This is like one of the better specials I've seen this year.
Right. And again, I'm just gonna come back to where I started with this production value thing. I think production value matters. I know a lot of people say,
Yeah.
well, as long as it's funny, it's funny. But I do think poor production values can distract you from if it's funny. And again, you can't compare apples to oranges. You can't compare one comedian to another and say, well, it was just as funny as so and so who had poor production values. You can't you can't make that evaluation. It's a different joke or whatever. But I do think having the best production quality you can possibly have makes it easier for everybody to watch. And there is a clear distinction between what Netflix production values are. Obviously, they have the money.
Yeah.
Then what? And I don't want to mention anybody by name, but there's a million of them who are doing YouTube specials where it's just not perfect. It's just not even close to perfect. You got shaky cameras, you got bad lighting, you got poor audio in places, and I think it becomes a difficult sell for people who are, especially if you're trying to make new fans with poor quality
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Just about everything you just said, except for the part where you opened your mouth. No, I'm just teasing.
Well,
No, I agree with
I don't
everything
have
you
to
said
open my
there.
mouth to talk.
I just,
I mean,
I,
you are right about like production wise, on specials that definitely does matter, and it's almost like when you do a local show too. If you have a flyer that looks like very rough, that already gives the impression to the people that will come to your show, like this is probably going to be kind of janky and shit like that. They don't know what they're doing, especially when the poster's all filled up and it's like so much information on it. It's like, what are you doing?
Right. Uh, Paul Provenda has a pet peeve. I've talked to him about this a couple of times now with specials. He does not like the cutaway to the audience laughing thing. He says it's an obvious trick to edit tighter and to come back to the stage where you had a problem going on with continuity problem on the stage if you shot different. I think that one tells, to be honest with you. I think it was shot all in one night, one sitting, 140-minute taping. But he doesn't like the cutaway to audience laughing. I think watching last night, I think it was done masterfully. It was only one, and I know I'm the only fucking anal retentive asshole who's watching like this, but I saw one cutaway where the camera moved just a little. It zoomed in after the cutaway, which felt a little uncomfortable. But other than that, I thought it was perfect, and I thought that actually adds to your watching experience at home when you see other people just losing their shit over a joke. It makes the joke better.
sometimes it gives people permission to laugh at something they may not ordinarily laugh at.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
And he does a lot of off color. He does quite a bit of stuff that people would ordinarily go like, "Can I laugh at that?" Okay, the midgets are laughing. I can laugh too.
Yeah, for that was part of it too. I expect Attell to be like super raunchy, and he was. I mean, there are, and not that I need him to be extra raunchy, but I was surprised that he was. There are people that are out raunching him by far now. He used to be like one of the dirtiest guys working, and now I think he's just like average dirty. And I don't know if that's an evolution between him or the evolution of where comedy has gone.
Yeah,
That people,
the most important thing of the special, it was funny and it was consistent.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it sucked. I'm not saying it sucked. It's just, you know what? Attell, when I hear Attell, I think this is going to be the best, and it just didn't do that for me. It definitely did for the production values, but as far as the performance, I didn't think it was the best. Probably because I saw the last 20 minutes of it live 60 minutes ago. I seen how he ends the show. I was there for that. So, you know, seeing it on tape, doing it to a different audience is not as impressive as being there for it. Obviously, it's going to be a little less impressive. I
Right.
know I
Yeah.
come off like a negative guy. What can I say? I'm a negative dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I can dig that. Yeah.
yeah. So
I can dig
obviously,
you're a negative dude. Yeah.
obviously, from the tomb to the womb is not going to be here. Whoa.
Maybe he's in the tomb already.
Maybe he is. He's in the tomb. He's not answering emails.
Right.
And apparently his book is only for sale by his publisher, which is kind of weird. I do.
That's how I turn on my wife, though. I say, "Are you ready for some womb to the tomb?"
um, I do have another cop coming on, former cop.
Today?
Not today.
Oh, okay.
Next week sometime or the week after. Yeah, it's hard. I'll look at the calendar. But this guy, the show The Commish, remember the show The Commish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's based on his life. The first, I think, 7 episodes were straight from his story, and the entire series was based on him. Now, I don't remember that clearly because there was another show with Michael Chiklis on where he was a cop, right? And I'm not sure.
Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, there was it was the commissioner. Was it called Vice?
Something like that, right? And he was a bad guy. Michael Chiklis was a police captain or police commissioner who got corrupt, right? In that other series. I'm not sure if the commission ended up being the
Yeah,
corrupt guy.
I'm looking them up right now just to see what that was.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know about that, but I look forward to that conversation because you know that's a pretty interesting topic, at least for the day, is being a cop and then having a show created about your experiences. I have a new this one.
It was called The Shield.
The Shield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking up another one. Just another one came up in yesterday. Here, Anthony Shembri, April 11th, he will be here. So that's like a week and a half from now.
Anthony, Shembri, right. Yeah.
You know him?
No.
Oh, he's a distinguished police. Now, this is not the guy I was just talking about. Distinguished, or maybe it is. Yes, this is Anthony Shembri. He's a distinguished police commissioner who brings a wealth of expertise to thrilling crime novels. ABC's 90s crime drama, The Commission, based on his life. He wrote the first 7 episodes, was a New York City police commissioner for almost 15 years. Now, why don't I know him? I mean, generally, you know, the police commissioners, they do press conferences every once in a while. He taught courses on serial crime. This is what I'm really interested in, the serial stuff at the University of Florida.
Hosting Kellogg. Yeah, General Mills. Get down to that nitty gritty. Find out what happened to that Raisin Bran shit.
Right. He's got a book out called In Russia, A Brook Solution. I won't give too much away about it now, but so that's going to be a very interesting conversation. April 11th. I think things will pick up next week. This has been a clusterfuck of a week with people not showing up, people canceling last minute, all that kind of stuff, and Willie being lost without his cord and Stephen having emergencies.
I'm disappointed. Now, did Stephen say what part of his body is the same foot all over again?
He did not say. And maybe he wants to keep it private. Maybe it's his penis.
I don't think he wants to keep
penis
it
has come
private.
between us.
I think the drugs kicked in and mid-sentence, and he get a chance to finish.
All right. What was that?
It sounds like him right there. That's Stephen.
No,
hey,
that
Stephen.
wasn't Stephen. That wasn't Stephen.
Maybe
Let's do
maybe his chair needed an oil change.
Yeah. Before I play the commercial here, now I did mention that there was a guy who was on Twitter, a Michigan congressman, talking about a plane load of illegal immigrants getting flown out of Detroit, Michigan. Like, how do they? If they're flying them out of the Detroit, Michigan, I would think they're probably from the northern border rather than the southern border. But he was complaining about the Guatemalans and people getting flown out of Detroit, Michigan on a plane. Turned out to be the basketball team from whoever local. The closest college to that, who was in the Sweet 16. So a little bit of foot and mouth disease right there. Oh yeah, they fly an illegal immigrant. No, they're your kids, your neighborhood's kids. So anyway, Sweet 16.
Well, hey, he just
What?
wanted to show that he could be racist across the board. Hit every genre of racism.
Right. So Sweet 16 is starting now, right? So we have so we get Sweet 16 for about a week now, and then it gets down to what, 8 and
Elite
then 4?
The Elite 8, the Final 4.
No, I think it's down to 8 already.
Right. They just did the Sweet 16.
Oh, wow.
Right there. So right now they're at the Elite 8.
Wow. And so what? Because it goes all the way to April 11th. That's kind of a far.
April 8th, isn't it?
April 8th? Is that what it is? All right. Maybe I said 11th because we just had that guest on who's scheduled for the 11th. But
Right.
April 8th, that's still a week and a day to get from 8 teams down to 4? That doesn't, or down to, down to 2.
8, 4,
Yeah, there are
2.
4. Yep, there are 4 games today.
4 games today. So it'll be down to 4 teams by Monday. And then, so they have a whole week to get down to just the 2? That doesn't.
Right, and then the last team plays itself.
Okay. Oh, how do they declare the winner? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to play the commercial now. Just, I know the AI voice bothers Ian on this. Listen, some of the voices for the new InVideo, who is also a sponsor, InVideo, I'll be talking about them. Those voices are hard to detect that they're AI voices at all, but this one is particularly easy to spot as an AI voice. But that doesn't mean you should not take a second mortgage and bet everything on St. John's, who's not even in the tournament, or bet on Suffolk Community College. That's who you should bet on.
The experts at MyBookie have created the ultimate NCAA March Madness betting guide to help you make the best bets throughout the tournament. Throughout this betting guide, the pros will go in depth on the best teams, players, and bets throughout the entire NCAA March Madness tournament. 2024 March Madness 85th edition of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Tournament tips off Tuesday, March 19th to Monday, April 8th, 2024. Go to mybookie.com/minddog and get up to $1,000 welcome bonus.
Hey there, I'm Mr. Geronimo, product manager for Tracy's Dog. What is Tracy's Dog? Well, for $50, we send you a high-quality sex toy right to your door. Yeah, $50. Are our toys any good? No. They're f***ing amazing. Yeehaw! Each toy is made with body-safe silicone. We are constantly evolving and innovating our product line. They are built for one thing, to shake your world with orgasms you ain't never seen before.
I ain't never seen an orgasm.
Do you like spending $100 for your sex toy? 80 of it goes to retail. What about bumping into your family while at the sex toy shop?
My family's
Good taste. Get the pleasure you deserve without broadcasting your secrets. And think of all the money we're going to be saving you.
Yeah, we're not. You don't want to run into your family at the sex shop. But if I ran into my family at the sex shop, I'd think, what is going on here? Necrophilia? What the hell? What are you guys into over here?
Why don't you want to run into your family? It's something to talk about. A connection.
I don't know. It depends on which member of the family. I guess if it is your kinky stepsister. I'm sorry. We're just all over the place here with this nonsense here. The worst of humanity is expressed on this program.
Whoa! You don't have, just because GD comes back, you don't have to call him the worst of humanity.
Right.
That is true. I'm not quite the worst, but I appreciate that I'm even in the conversation.
Now, how are you?
It's just
Good
nice to
morning,
be
G.
nominated.
Good morning, GD. How are you sitting? Haven't you had a rough colonoscopy last night? I mean, they did it with I don't know, plumbing tubes or something, quarter-inch, 2-inch pipe.
It was actually yes. It was. Yeah, I'm laughing because when I had to sign these consent forms.
Uh-oh.
And number seven, because I was in for a stress test. I was doing a stress test, which is basically you're running in circles or running on a treadmill, uphill and stuff like that. And number 7 is if they get to keep, they get to dispose of any organs from the procedure any way they like. But this is a stress test, so unless I'm coughing up a lung while I'm running, there shouldn't be any organs for them to dispose of. But that was
Or
in
you
there.
could you could have a heart attack and they couldn't or get a call that somebody needs a heart from they need a heart that matches
So
your
they're
blood.
encouraging, so they're really trying to get you to fail the stress test. They're really trying to get that heart to fail so that they can have it. It's like,
Now,
we need a kidney. Pump it up. We need a kidney.
have you been feeling extra stressed lately? Was there a reason that you needed to take a stress test? Are you?
Well, they were. I was having lightheadedness and I couldn't stay awake for more than a couple hours at a time.
Oh.
Yeah. And even if if I walked more than 4 minutes, I was like doubling over, short of breath. Wow. So they wanted to just throw the kitchen sink to see what the issue was.
Did you tell them you're old?
No, but it's really funny that half of the conversations that I have with my doctor, she goes, "Okay, you're fine in this regards, for someone your age." And like he doesn't exactly. I'm like so fucking tired of her just hearing that for someone your age. I'm just so fucking tired of her qualifying everything like that.
Yeah.
She's like, your face isn't bad for someone your age. You're a pretty funny guy for someone your age.
Someone your age. No, I get that all the time. For someone your age.
I can see you getting it, but me, God, bless America.
Well, yeah, because I would say for someone much older than you. Oh, wait. I thought I just got email from the missing cop. The missing cop years. No, that wasn't him. This is a different guy. A lot of people must be seeing the show and saying, "Wait a minute, that ain't for fucking me." These guys are fucking insane. They're talking about bestiality. I don't want to be part of that. That's what's not comedians, by the way. They're all authors or people who want respect or something. I never heard back from the IQ guy, 140 IQ guy. I wrote to him twice yesterday saying, I'd at least appreciate an explanation about why you didn't show up. But I feel like maybe his IQ isn't quite 140 if he couldn't figure out email.
140 is like the minimum to be a genius. Okay, that's the minimum. That's like kicking a field goal and hitting the bottom of the post and it bounces in.
It's still in though. You still win. You still get.
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah, it counts, but it's. Yeah.
Not to me. None of it counts. I don't fucking believe in the numbers because there was
I agree with you.
That girl who was on Letterman, who was supposedly had the highest IQ ever. She was a fucking idiot. I mean, she was a dingbat. I'm sorry, typical.
When I was tested as a child, and it turns out that I was, let's call it genius.
All right, Sheldon.
Things my mother did was put me out to show other people who she knew that were geniuses and they'd become drug addicts, because she was saying the IQ doesn't mean a damn thing. It's what you do afterwards, with it and stuff like that. So I agree.
What do you do afterwards? What do you do afterwards?
After
go fuck a horse? You go fuck a horse?
If you're smart, you will.
I don't understand. Afterwards, after taking the test, afterwards.
Right. After you find out you're a genius, it's like I said, so she just didn't. I was very, very young, and she just was trying to put things in perspective.
Uh,
And what she didn't tell me was that, okay, you're a black kid in Baltimore. The other kids are going to beat your ass when they find out you're that smart. So, that's what she should have told me.
I don't think Mike says there's a fine line between genius, which he spelled genus, and crazy.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think there's no line. There's no. First of all, I think everybody is. If we use the word crazy, I think there are 8 billion people on the planet. 8 billion and one qualify as crazy. That one is the one that everybody else is talking to the whole time. But crazy. I think all that happens is people who are really smart talk about things that illustrate how crazy they are. Much more, it's just more apparent. But I think you could be dumb and crazy, you could be smart and crazy, you could be just middle of the road crazy.
Right.
But most people, the thing is, the average person thinks they're above average in intelligence. That's the
Yeah.
average person thinks they're above average.
It's like 90. It's like they did a survey back when this would have been during the financial crisis when Obama and McCain were running for president. So this
Right.
was during the Bush administration, Bush 2. And they did a survey, and it's like 95% of the people they surveyed, 95%
Everybody says
95% of the conservatives that they surveyed thought that they were in 1% of 1% income bracket.
Right.
It's like, no, I think I'm part of the 1% wealthiest people in the country. It's like, you live in a trailer park. Right.
Evil sent me a link to RFK the movie. I guess somebody did and I didn't watch the whole thing. There's nothing you could say that could convince me that RFQ is a good is a good choice for anything.
Whoa,
I'm sorry.
Whoa, take it. Matt, I want to say, go fuck yourself with that attitude.
That's
You've seen my guns. Like I said, I'm 69 years old. I'm old. I'm younger than both of those old fucks.
Combined. You're younger than both of them combined. Yeah.
But he's doing a lot of podcasts. He's continuing, and this is beating a dead horse or fucking a dead horse, however you want to take it. Or he just keeps talking about he's being censored. He's dominating Twitter. Almost every other post is him with a podcast clip where he's doing interviews, a television interview, him just going on video and just saying shit about himself, or this film about him. And they keep censoring me. I was like, I wish, the more I hear you talk, I wish they would censor you. Somebody should just, for 5 minutes, can you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
It's insane. But
I personally find that irresponsible on your part. How can you let these two old fucks control the narrative? I haven't vaccinated 2 of my kids, and guess what? They're still not alive.
It's also, I think he's 4 years older than me, so that would make him 68 right now, probably coming up to 69. For him to call, I mean, it's a stretch for a 68, 69-year-old guy to be complaining about old people, because 60, let me tell you, folks, 64 is old. 64 is old. So 68, 69 is also old. Now, I know there's a big difference between 69 and 77. Yeah, 8 years or whatever. I mean, but let's face it, you can't. That's nobody should be complaining about old if you're over 65. These old people are in my way. Like, that's me at the supermarket complaining about old people. Like, oh wait, I forgot.
Well, like I was at the gym last week, and like on one of those TVs, they have like CNN and Fox up, and like on Fox, they were complaining about Biden's age, and it was like this commercial is like, we're gonna talk about Biden's like mental state or whatever, and the people that are criticizing him are 80 years old themselves.
Right? Yeah.
So this 80-year-old is bad, but I am a good 80-year-old. I got everything.
Right. And how old? There were people in Congress who were well over that.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, even the people in Congress that are in their 60s, most of them don't even know like how half anything works, like the internet or
Right.
anything.
You familiar
Right.
with John Kennedy, the congressman from Mississippi?
Oh my Lord.
A
Yeah.
fucking foghorn leghorn. What a goofy old goober.
I do say, we have to pass this legislation.
I say, son, boy. I say, boy, was that a chicken hawk? Is that a chicken hawk in your pants? You just happy to see me.
Mississippi is not even trying to alleviate any of the stereotypes about Southern stupidity. They keep electing these guys who are total
Why
goobers.
should they?
Why should they? They like
Right.
being considered stupid.
Yeah, of course.
It's the brand.
It's their brand.
All right,
It's their brand. It's just like being a Trump supporter wearing a red hat, and they'll say, do you know you? They'll say, no government in my bedroom. And so you realize that Trump wants to put women in jail for getting an abortion.
right.
And those
So
are
I'm just coming back to RFQ for a bit here, because the proud blue Texan. Now this guy is obviously a Democrat. He's saying the RFK Jr. movie is a lifetime of drug abuse, sex addiction, bad choices, failure, a wife that died by suicide. Who, by the way, he told to commit suicide. That's not a rumor. That's not conjecture.
What?
Why don't you just kill yourself? Wait, careless killing of others through the spread of vaccine disinformation. Go ahead, RFQ.
I want to say that I don't kill people or my family. We just assist. We are pro. If you want to kill yourself, we will help you. That's all I'm saying right now.
Okay. You know what? I'm for assisted suicide. And people who, the idea that suicide should be illegal is ridiculous. I mean,
hey, you should come to my house. I have a great car that doesn't have brakes.
There you
Let's
go.
go for a drive.
I think if
does
somebody
it belong to your Uncle Teddy?
Yeah, the interior has some light water damage.
I'm not sure. Did Teddy stop driving after Chappaquiddick? That would be a good question. 'Cause I would think, you know what, Kennedy, you're rich enough to have other people drive you.
But how do you make sure that the car goes all the way in the water unless you do it yourself? You can't trust the chauffeur to want to go down with the ship.
I don't think it was intentional because the circumstances of it were just you don't do it leaving a party and then go back to the party, leaving the girl half. You don't know if she's dead. If it was intentional, he would have jumped in and held her down to make sure she was dead, and then gone back.
Thank you for coming to our defense, Matt. We never kill people.
No, he never liked you, by the way. He said you should have been aborted. You were the case he was making for abortion. Abortion should be legal. Look at that guy. He can't even talk. And he talked like that as a 5-year-old, by the way.
That's horrifying.
Yeah. He says in a clip from a podcast interview this morning, I was watching that, he was talking about how when he recovered from his heroin addiction in 1983, how he had a spiritual awakening that helped him beat heroin. And I responded to him on Twitter. I said, so you're telling me after this spiritual awakening, that's when you decided to pull your dick out in front of everybody, any woman that you thought was semi-attractive, you pull your dick out in front of her and tell your ex-wife or tell your wife at the time to kill herself. That's how you measure. That's an example of being enlightened to you. I mean, yeah, you kicked heroin addiction, but that's when the trouble started. That's when you became a pervert, or not when you became, but that's when you started demonstrating.
Displaying it openly displaying it, yeah.
Matt, once again, you're here slandering me just because I love classic bits like from the 1981 movie Bachelor Party. You know how many times I've put my dick into a hot dog bun? Beautiful. The ladies love it.
It sounds like people are just copy and pasting, or because the next The next critique of the RFK, the movie, a lifetime of bad choices and failures featuring drug abuse, sex addiction, and deliberate lying about vaccines. Close enough to almost the exact same verbiage. Like, all I'm doing is reading what somebody else said and then posting it myself.
Yeah, it's
All
like
I
a high
gotta
school.
say,
It's like a middle school home assignment.
hey guys, all I gotta say is smell my fingers.
He's got Crowder's disease. Crowder's disease is putting your penis on somebody else's shoulder and then tapping him.
There is, hey, speaking of penis coming out, there is a great story of Troy Aikman back in the day, and he was giving a press conference. Then Charles Haley comes up behind Troy Aikman, pulls out his dick, and shoves it in Troy Aikman's pocket while he's doing a fucking press
In his
conference.
pocket.
In his fucking pocket.
Oh, that's,
And that is, I've met Charles Haley once. That's a big fucking man. He's fucking huge.
Have you seen his penis?
Well, I've seen his body and I've shook his hand. So if it's any indication, that fucking thing's probably hanging on the floor.
I'm not sure it's always an indication though, because I know the biggest dick I've ever seen. My friend Robbie Wall. He was not a big man. He's several inches shorter than me, and not not big at all, not wide. But man, that guy carries around a fucking baseball bat in his pants. I mean, so I'm not sure size always. I don't know. I'm not like a dick expert. I am did a study on this. Maybe we should do a study on the correlation between size and cock size.
Well, if you can stand next to Troy Aikman and just pull out your dick and put it in his
His
pocket.
pocket. Yeah, I would tend to.
Well, wrap it around him.
Unless he's wearing cargo pants, because then the pockets pretty much help you. But if he's wearing, especially if there's like the pockets are like real tight and in the front,
Well, what is 69 is divine? Wait, why are you saying that now? Did somebody say something about 69?
The age, Kennedy's age.
Oh, it's old. 69 is old. It's what comes after 69?
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm on so much HGH and testosterone. It doesn't matter.
It affects your voice. It almost makes you sound normal.
Right. I know.
Now, Rick Rubin, Rick Rubin, the music producer. He
inventor of the sandwich.
Huh?
Inventor of the sandwich. Yeah.
That was
the Rubin sandwich?
Yes. Wasn't that Rick Rubin?
Why didn't he spell it the same way though? Because Rick Rubin spelled it Rubin. The sandwich is Rubeun or something like that, right? Why if he was naming a sandwich after himself, wouldn't he get the spelling correct?
The spelling is correct.
They're
You know how there's like SAG rules and there's sandwich rules. There's all kinds of rules as far as copyright and stuff like that. You
did not know that.
Yeah.
No, I did not know that. What's in a Reuben sandwich, by the way? I never had a Reuben sandwich.
Oh, I love them. They're Thousand Island dressing.
Okay, what's in it?
Rye bread. Corn was it? Well, depends.
What's the meat?
Beef, is it corned beef?
Yeah, it is. I don't know.
Sauerkraut. Is it corned beef and sauerkraut?
I think no, I don't think it's. Yeah,
wait, you love it, but you don't know you're not sure what's in it
because I can't eat corned beef anymore. So I had to substitute that with like turkey or grouper.
Oh,
yeah, it's a grilled sandwich and composed of corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and Russian dressing or Thousand Island dressing. Grilled between 2 slices of rye bread.
I don't like it. I don't want it. No, I'll have a BLT. Thank you.
See, now I'll get that, but without the corned beef, I'll get I get turkey or like I had a grouper sandwich, a grouper Reuben, and that was like the best seafood sandwich I'd ever had. And I'm not big on seafood. I'm not, but I really like that sandwich.
That sounds fishy to me. Where was I going to go here? I forgot where. Where he came out. Reuben was talking about AI and how we tend to think that people in AI are smart and know what they're doing, but there's a lot of people who are advancing AI technology who are not so smart, don't really know what they're doing, and it could pose a extreme danger if they or what they can do can really fuck things up for humanity. And
Yes.
RFQ jumped in there and he said, if Ron could say it better than me, but he said that's why I hired an AI expert, or I picked an AI expert to be my VP candidate. Now, what makes her a AI expert? She doesn't.
No, that's not why he picked her. He picked her because he needs money. She gives money, plain and simple.
She is my sugar mama. I would do
Right.
anything. I would do anything for that ass.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you, you know what? Because he's old. Again, he's old, and to people my age, anybody who can use spell check is an AI expert. If you if you've ever created an AI generated image, you must be an expert in AI. I think that's where he gets this impression that she's an AI expert. Anybody can call themselves an expert. That expert.
Right.
You know, it's not like a certified degree or you're an expert in AI.
She's an expert in writing checks. I think she's already written like $5 million worth of money to checks to
Now,
him.
is she writing them herself, or is she AI producing the checks?
She's writing the checks. She's his biggest contributor.
How do you know? She's an AI expert. She could be AI doing.
Well, she's
She
also
might
an
not even
attorney.
be real herself.
She's also an attorney, which means you have to have a bar. You have to pass the bar.
I do not like these personal attacks on me, man. You keep saying that I'm old, but I fuck like a champ.
Oh no, I love the way you do 4 push-ups and prove how fit you are. Listen, I could probably. I don't know this for a fact. I haven't done push-ups and I have not exercised. I am I have not exercised in good
Well, look
6 or
at you.
7
Look
years.
at me. I got muscles. I'm on HGH, man.
Step
it up. Step it up.
I will. I mean, I will still. I won't back down from a fight if you want to. If you want to, you want to fight me.
Oh yeah, and I'll come to your house and pick you up in my car. We'll go for a ride. It'll be fun.
All right. There's no bridges around here. Where I think I'm safe.
You live right near the water, Matt. Isn't there like a 900-foot cliff right in front of your house?
It's not right in front of my house, but it's also it's a 450-foot cliff. But I don't think if you drove over that cliff, you would ever get to the bottom. There's so many trees and shit in the way. You'd probably get about 35 feet and then hit a bunch of trees. You definitely hit rocks and trees. You wouldn't make it down the cliff.
I will gladly pick you up and take you to the city, and we can go for a nice walk up some stairs.
All right.
So Matt, that cliff is 450 feet Celsius, 900 feet Fahrenheit.
Yeah. No, the stairs coming up from the beach. Listen, at my age, boy, I would challenge anybody to even a much younger person to do these stairs with me because it is the major workout coming up from the beach. This is why I rarely go down to. I don't go down to the beach as much as I should.
Which is why you never bring a body back up with you.
Right.
You're proving my point. You're having trouble walking up some stairs. That's
I was having some trouble. I'm saying it's a rough walk. Yes, I'm having.
Yeah, because you're old as fuck, and I'm 69.
All right. Are you 69? I thought you were 68. Let me check on how old. Because if you don't know how old you are, that would be an indication that you're too old.
Well, to be fair, I'm on so much HGH. Who knows?
Yeah, they say HGH adds a year to your life.
Huh. Now,
was that the camera?
What's interesting is Cheryl Hines. Cheryl Hines, I don't know. She's
of the ketchup Heinz.
Yeah. No, she's not the Heinz ketchup people.
Steak sauce?
She's RFQ's wife, the actress, who she's being very critical of Alex Jones and his conspiracy theories. But she's married to a conspiracy theorist. So she's okay with her husband who's running for president spreading conspiracy theories, but Alex Jones' conspiracy theories are a bridge too far for her.
Oh, don't worry. She's a little funny. That's why me and Larry David are Eskimo brothers now.
So, what is this? Good Friday? Friday? I don't know what that's about. Um, yeah. Maybe we should. You want to do a crippled joke theory? You want to do crippled joke theory?
Sure, that sounds wonderful. Sure.
All right, you do it. You know how to do it. All we have to do is sit here and watch, right?
Oh, I think that's all you have to do. Is that all you have to do? Is that all you want to do?
That's what I want to do. I just want to sit here. I would love to just get high, but I can't. I can't.
Okay.
It's too early in the day.
Well, this is a short one. It's only got like 5 stories in it because I tried to, it's rough. It's short. That's what I meant to say.
Life is short, and so is Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's it. All right, sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, I got to hit the other button. You're right. I do know how to do this.
You just hit.
Hello, welcome to Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist. Now with new joke technology. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist at large, but I'm losing weight. Welcome to Critical Joke Theory, episode 49. Now with new joke technology and open caption for the humor impaired. Longtime senator from Connecticut, Joe Lieberman, who became the first Jewish American to be nominated on a major party ticket, died Wednesday. He was 82. Lieberman apparently died due to complications from a fall from grace from the Democratic Party. 6 people died on Tuesday when a 984-foot cargo carrier collided with the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland. Francis Scott Key wrote the Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see the bridge is right there in front of you? Turn, turn, turn. The NTSB is investigating the cause of the accident. As of now, it is believed that the cargo ship lost power shortly before the collision. This is why autopilots should not pilot cargo ships. Rebuilding the Francis Scott Key Bridge will take years. In the meantime, all drug traffic will have to use alternate routes. Federal agents raided the Miami and Los Angeles homes of Sean Puffy Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Puffy Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Diddy Puffy Love, a.k.a. Puff Diddy, a.k.a. Sean Daddy, a.k.a. Brother Love, a.k.a. The Diddler. I may have made some of those names up. I'm not certain which ones. The raid was part of an investigation into sex trafficking. I do not know if he's guilty, but an innocent man wouldn't need all of those aliases. Robert Kennedy Jr., independent candidate for president, has announced that his running mate will be millionaire technologist and attorney Nicole Shanahan. Nicole Shanahan is the Kennedy campaign's main source of financial support, having already donated millions to his campaign. Kennedy may not believe in vaccines, but he sure does welcome the shot in the arm that Shanahan's money brings. Boing! CEO Dave Calhoun was announced that he will be stepping down by the end of the year in the wake of ongoing safety problems. It is not certain what kind of severance package Calhoun is receiving, but you can best believe that he will request a golden parachute. Finally, in ex-president legal news, the New York Appeals Court reduced Trump's bond from $464 million to $175 million and gave him an extra 10 days to come up with the money. I swear, Trump has more breaks than the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and anyone else would be in jail awaiting sentencing. I know that Trump had a hard time completing a sentence, but damn. Trump is now selling Bibles. Trump selling Bibles is like Hitler selling swastikas of David. I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist, now with new joke technology. Thank you for watching Critical Joke Theory.
Wow, that's a long cry. Maybe somebody get her a tissue or something. Really? Oh man, I would move out. Oh my God! Shut the. It's not on loop. This is a one sound effect. Oh my God! All right, I had to turn that off. It still went on for a while. All right. Do we need to applaud? Do we need to applaud? Yeah.
Do I need an applause sign? I don't need an applause. I have an applause sign. So I have closing credits. I don't use them right here.
The bridge thing. Well, I know the bridge thing is, way in the past now, and nobody cares about the bridge thing. Geraldo Rivera had a thing to say about the bridge. Would you like me to tell you what Geraldo said?
Please tell.
Sure.
I can't wait. Yeah.
All right. When the Key Bridge collapsed at 1:27 a.m. Tuesday morning, an overnight road crew filling potholes on the bridge died with it. The crew consisted of 6 apparently undocumented Hispanic immigrants, aka illegal aliens, from Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. They drowned in cold, murky water of the Baltimore Harbor. There was no outrage from conservative media about them stealing jobs from citizens because, as they often do, the migrants were doing the dirty, dangerous job that no citizen wanted. And estimated 1/3 of our nation's construction workers are undocumented immigrants. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2022, 316 foreign-born, mostly undocumented Hispanic construction workers perished on the job. So that's a take that nobody else is. Of course, for him, that is a where he breaks with the typical conservative talking points. But he's absolutely nobody complains about them stealing our jobs when the jobs are, and you know what? They're not stealing anybody's job, but they're taking jobs that no American really wants to do. If we could get Americans to do them, maybe things would be a little different. But we can't get Americans to take those jobs. Unfortunately, what does that say about how cushy and spoiled we are as a people?
Well, now some as far as the pothole fillers, I think Americans will do that job. But I just think that particular company went the route of getting the cheapest labor they could, so they could bid on the contract.
And they're under contract by governments, by municipal governments, not federal governments.
Right.
But that is just so interesting. If he's saying 1/3 of construction workers in America are illegal immigrants or whatever you call undocumented.
The other day I read a article about this, and there's a town in Nebraska that I think it might be called Fremont or something like that. But it's a town in Nebraska, and 10 years ago, they introduced, the local government said, if you're going to rent apartments or anything, you have to sign a form that says I am here legally or whatever. Now, fast forward to today, a lot of the kids that grow up in that town, they leave the town. And over the past 10 years, they've had an influx of immigrants, but they need them, legal or illegal or not, because there are 3 meat packing factories in that town. And no one else wants to do that fucking work because the other people are leaving the town. So now that town is having this reckoning, oh, we do have illegals here and legals, and we got to work with them.
Now, is that one of the towns where they just, because I know some states, they don't want, quote, they don't want immigrants working there. So they are lowering the child labor, they're loosening child labor laws to replace the brown people.
Right.
So I didn't know if this was one of those states or towns that are doing that. So we don't want 28-year-old brown men, but we'll take 10-year-old white kids.
4-year-old.
Well, 4 can't be to reach the top of the machine, can they? Don't they have to be at least 10 to reach the machine?
4-year in I forget which, it's Idaho or Iowa. One of the.
You're thinking of that movie with the train where the small kid's arms are the perfect size to fit inside of that.
No, I'm thinking of the law in Idaho or Iowa. I think it's Iowa that they just passed within the last 6 months or so, that a 4-year-olds can work bartender job. Like they can't even reach the bar, and they're not even supposed to be in a bar, but they can work as bartenders at 4 years old.
Okay, that's I don't have an answer for that at all, and I have friends and family in Iowa, so
You need to get on a step stool to do your job.
maybe they're just sweeping peanuts off the floor, or you know something. I got it. I figured. Damn it! They are the right height to get the gum from underneath the table without bending over.
Yeah,
So they get the gum from under the table, and also the people that have fallen over drunk, they're already on the floor. They serve them the alcohol. That way, you don't have to bend over. You're down there.
right. But they also will choke. So it's like balancing out the abortion thing, where you're gonna. It's a good way to get rid of kids because they can just choke on the gum from underneath the table. I guess. I don't know what the hell am I saying. On the illegal immigrant issue, undocumented workers, Jeff Ross. You know Jeff Ross, the comedian. Jeff Ross.
Yeah, he's a bald head guy. He did the roast battle stuff.
What
right?
you got some bigotry against bald people?
No, I'm just trying to distinguish him from the other Ross who has.
You got hair supremacy? Is that what you're a hair supremacist?
Oh, me? No. Me, I only grow this hair because my head has a very awkward shape.
He was at the border and he met a couple of migrant workers, migrant worker and his family, and he did an interview with them on tape. And he said, "This guy's not a criminal. He's looking to save his family from poverty and just really abusive governments. And he's coming here." And he asked the guy, he said, "Why aren't you doing this legally?" He said, "I don't know how. I don't know how to do it legally." So and it takes forever and all that stuff. Some guy in the chat of that, or the comments of that video, said, "I hope they get arrested. They're teaching the kids to break the law. What kind of example are you setting these people?" And I said, you know what? Almost everybody I ever knew broke a law that is as serious as the law they're breaking. And
what?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I forgot. You come from a crime family.
No,
yeah, that's no.
I'm saying the law is a nonviolent offense, and it's really not much different than like a speeding ticket. And every single person every adult I know has broken one law or another at some time, and they can't say. And if you say you didn't, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying because the two. I know between the two of us. I agree with you. On average, that's true because we just look at our family. Both of us come from crime families, and so like I think our families skew the average.
I think Matt's been lying to us. I think as soon as he shuts everything down, he pulls off his bald cap, pulls off the mustache, puts on the glasses. They still don't know who I am.
No, but so the guy asked me, "What's my point? You're saying that we should just look the other way when people break the law?" And I said, "No, the point is that you're not being serious about this. You're saying it because you hate them because they're breaking a law, but they're breaking a law that your family breaks more serious law. You probably did. Almost everybody you know has broken a law as serious. It's not the law breaking that you hate. It's their skin color. It's the fact that they don't speak English. It's the fact that they're different than you. They're culturally different than you. You hate them." He said, "What? Race has nothing to do with it." And I said, "Okay, I'll wait here. You go show me an example when you complained about the 1 million white European people who came here and overstayed their visa, which is exactly the same level of offense as these people. Tell me when you complained about them and hope you hope they get arrested and thrown in jail. What kind of example are they?" And I said, "You have the rest of my life to prove me wrong on this. Go ahead. I'll wait here."
Speaking of which. Speaking of criminals and breaking the law, Sam Bankman-Fried has been sentenced to 25 years in prison because of his, again, I think it was jaywalking. I can't remember what it was he did.
Bitcoin
fraud
or
something. I knew it was either like Bitcoin or jaywalking. One of those things is true. But 25 years, yay. And two of Trump's former attorneys one of them is about to be disbarred. He just got recommended. Was that Eastman or Clark? I think that was Clark, and I think Eastman is like going through being run through the ringer right now. They should both be disbarred by the end of next week, I think.
Kind of guy Stephen Ortiz is. He's about to get wheeled into surgery, and he goes on Facebook to text me and tell me how sorry he is for not being here today. He's about to get wheeled in for another. I know, wheeled in for surgery, and he's conscientious enough to.
And you have guests who will miss an appointment and won't even let you know.
That was exactly where I was going to go with this. I have people who, basically, I don't know, I got a hangnail. I'm going to fuck this guy up and not even tell him I'm not coming. And then we have a guy who's about to have his dick cut off. I'm sorry, that's not exactly what he's having. I thought he was having sex change surgery. It's his
you
foot
saw
again.
The word foot and assumed it was his penis.
Right. But I mean, another emergency surgery. They're about to wheel him into surgery, and wait a minute, I gotta let Matt know. I'm sorry for not.
So if he doesn't make it out of surgery, how long do we wait before we make fun of him? I just want to know what the rules.
There's no such thing as too soon here.
Okay, all right. All right. So as soon as we get the word that he's passed, we can start making jokes.
Yeah, even we could start making jokes about it now. I don't know what's funny about it.
But I don't like making untimely. I don't like making untrue jokes.
Pre-death jokes.
Right. Yeah. I don't like the pre-death jokes. I like the cold jokes, the cold death jokes once they're gone.
No.
I mean, only because look, I pulled the plug on my sister and she didn't die, and for 20 years I had to hear that crap. So I just want to make sure they're dead before I start making jokes about them.
All right. Well, we do wish Stephen, all kidding aside, we hope this next surgery fixes. What's with these doctors? It's a foot, man. Don't you know how to fix a foot? I'm sorry.
Make sure they get the right foot this time and not the wrong foot.
Now, I grew up with a kid who he had his foot fucking ran over by a lawnmower.
Ooh.
And
was the blades running too? Were the blades going? Oh, that's even worse.
And his foot was fucked up forever, and he surgery after surgery, and it's.
At some point, you almost want to say, "Give me a fake foot, man. Just cut it off and give me a fake one." I grew up with an uncle who is my uncle Louis. I did not know his name was Louis until I was like 40 years old. My uncle Louis, they called him Uncle Hop. Uncle Hop grew up in Brooklyn when they still had trolley cars, and he'd ride the trolley car to school. And one day he was running to get on the trolley car and slipped and fell, and the trolley car ran over his leg and cut his leg off in the middle of the street. But his family from that moment on called him Hop.
They didn't call him Filthy Rich because the trolley car company gave him millions of dollars.
Yeah, lawsuits were not a big thing in those days. He never made it out of Brooklyn, never made it out of the neighborhood he grew up in East New York, in the apartment complex that my grandmother got from her third marriage. I don't know. I have a feeling my grandmother, God bless her, was a husband murderer. Her first husband brought her to America. She got married, had one kid, and then that husband died suddenly. He had some money apparently, and then she got married again, and that husband had an apartment complex, and then he suddenly died, and then she got married again to my father's father. So she had three husbands.
He was smart enough not to have any money so that she wouldn't kill him.
Oh no, he had some money, but he died very quickly, like short after. So I'm thinking she's kind of like a black widow. I never really got to. She died when I was like 7 or 8, so I never really got to know her besides the fact that when we went to her house, I was always scared shit, and then she would always slip me money and say, go to the candy store. Here, don't tell your mother I gave you this. Don't tell your father. But she didn't speak much English anyway, so I really didn't understand what she was saying. But as long as she was giving me cash, it was a cool thing.
Now, did y'all have grandparents or aunts or uncles that gave you the sloppy, wet, disgusting kisses that made you go like? Did y'all have those also?
No. No.
Okay, maybe it's just a black thing.
No, it's not just a black thing, but it's not my family's thing. Definitely.
Well, y'all didn't show affection.
Well, like I said, my grandmother, she was in her 90s when I was just a small child, and she wasn't kissing anybody. She was
just giving cash.
She was just giving cash. And plus that whole, she had 17 children from 3 husbands.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And my father was one of 14 boys. And he was the last. He was the last one. So she was really old. She thought she was too old to get pregnant when she had my father. She thought she was getting fat. But so I didn't really know her that well, and I wasn't around to see if she was a kisser when she was younger than that. But in her 90s, she certainly wasn't very active. And and the other side, my mother's family, they were my grandfather was a Black Irish, and my grandmother was a German. I think she was Jewish, but Jewish in denial. Her last name was Zimmerman. Her maiden name was Zimmerman, which it sounds Jewish. She was from Germany. Her family was from Germany, but so they weren't like overly emotionally touchy-feely people either. Neither one of those Protestant Irish or German Jews are necessarily come here, let me suck your face type of people. So no.
Oh God, I'm so jealous. My family was so salabary. It's funny because I won't mention any names, but my wife, I won't mention her by name. When there's some members of my family, she does not want to. She's like, don't let them kiss me. Don't let them, because they're going to just salabra all over me. Right. But I won't mention which members of my family does that. But I still have members of my family that do that. They saliva when it's like they kiss like hound dogs or something.
We have to say goodbye to Govs, and without saying anything